Welcome back.
Pit lane
Fixed
speed
time
limit is
here.
45 miles per
New
hour.
Hampshire Motor Speedway again.
Okay,
Going
Jake,
out for
you've got
qualifying.
2 laps. Let's
Try
get this
to
done.
put the best lap possible. It's tough. A couple tough people in here. Some guys I've watched in other races that have been really, really quick. So probably not going to be anywhere near the pole or near the front, but just going to see if we can do something to put us towards the front, because track position definitely does matter some. Maybe try to come out with a safer effort than the truck race was here. But it's not going to help when I overshoot turn 1 like that. Definitely trying a bit too hard. And we're going to slide off of turn 2, so get all the momentum first lap. Just going to reset, try to get a run to the line and make the second lap stick. Just have not gotten acclimated well with New Hampshire yet. It's definitely a tough track for me, unfortunately. Let's see if I can make this one any better.
P17, you're now 0.66 off the pace.
First lap was not going to be very good, like I said, because I got on the throttle a bit too hard out of turn 2, kind of slid it. A little bit better, still slid, but let's see if we can try to put anything better compared to lap 1. Shouldn't take much to do that. Still overdriving it, but take what we can get. Although I do the same thing off of turn 4, so it was a lot of time. But at least it's a little bit quicker.
That's the end of the session. P17.
Up to 11. So basically back end of the middle third of everybody that qualified. Almost 6/10 off of the pole sitter. I just, for whatever reason, I am not getting acclimated well with this track at all. Bunch of quick people that
Why? You just got out of that cup race with me.
didn't
Where'd you finish in that?
qualify. 2:68.
Oh,
They'll all be fast. 10's probably gonna be quick too. So
I ended up winning.
and I don't know. We'll just
Oh, congrats.
try to
man.
do the best
was
that I
kicked
can,
off,
learn
so I
from
got out of there,
everybody.
I got
I
taken
think
out.
this one,
that
like,
race,
I don't
that race
know.
was something else.
No shifting in this one, at least not till later
I
on in
just
the
thought
run.
I was
It for whatever reason, I feel
Yeah,
like
I was
I'm
going off,
struggling
and I was
more
like,
in this than I did
up towards
in
top
the
5 and
truck
got
race.
taken out by this other guy
But it
with
could
me,
just
so
be
I couldn't wait to get out of there.
just be that I ran a little bit less in the way of practice. So just gonna try to keep it as clean as I can.
Oh yeah, William.
Same thing as what I've been focusing on. Just try to do decent laps, consistent laps. And if we end up getting beat on speed, then I just gotta go to school and learn it more. I'm not good at all at fat tracks, so it's gonna take a bit of an effort to do anything.
Hey, if everybody wrecks and dies,
I guess bright side is there's 25 cars in here, so plenty of time to try to figure it out. Plenty of cars.
Yeah, break them.
I don't know. Same distance actually as the truck race, 40 laps, so just try to get through it as cleanly as I possibly can. Hopefully have a little bit of better luck around traffic. See if I can get back to 0x. I had a good streak of them going for a while, was running fairly clean, and then just went into this bad tear where I've just been really bad overdriving stuff, making stupid mistakes, getting caught up in everything. Just apparently made the racing gods really angry at me and not have very good
Track temp
performances.
is
So
115.
typically I've been running the inside line.
Fahrenheit.
Felt like not running all the way down to the apron, but a lane up off from the apron. So starting on the inside should be a little bit better for that. But try to do what we can. Maybe rolling. Check one thing. Alright, we're good. Sorry about that. Tires checked just in case we get a caution. No idea what this race is going to be like. Hopefully not as many cautions as the truck race. Although I guess if I'm burning tires up, that could be a better thing for me, but also not feeling very confident in my short run pace, considering my qualifying effort was so terrible. I mean, compared to my best lap, qualifying effort should have been a couple more tenths faster, which would have likely put me, I don't know, 8th or 9th, just a couple spots more, but again, like I said, goal is just to try to keep it clean, run consistent laps. That's all I'm focusing on. Not Not getting on the throttle too hard to slide the rear end around. Off and rolling.
On your right.
Time to just not overdrive the car.
Still there.
Gotta remember to let it roll off throttle a little bit more too in the center of the corner compared to what I did with the truck. 17's going around, 3's going around, 2 free spots. 7 was pretty slow, so there's potential for a couple more spots through 3.
Clear.
And we got the 22 working his way up as well. Alright, that was probably about the best start I was going to get. 22 loses it off of 4. Just like that, we are up to 7th. Really lucky that I saw those spins coming off of turn 2. 25 does the same thing, he noses in. We've got a wreck, 14, and we split those 2. Alright, so caution on lap number 2. And 2 more free spots. So believe it or not, that should put us into 5th.
Pace cars out. Line up single file.
Don't see the reason to come in and get tires already.
We're under caution. It's closed.
Oh, this is, in terms of positions, this is about the best start I possibly could have hoped for. I am in no way, shape, or form fast enough to back up this spot, but I will gladly take what I can get to start. Gladly take what I can start. These cars are definitely a lot tougher to drive off the corner than the trucks. Where I felt like the trucks were wanting to push really bad if you got on the throttle too early or too hard. These just want to rip the car right around. So that's a stat. It's, you know, the much higher horsepower compared to the trucks, the lower downforce. It's pretty typical for them. So trying to, you know, be as smooth as you can, keep the rear end from sliding off the corners will be key to keep the rear tires in check. And if you can do that, then you'll have a lot better grip and drive off later on in the run as well. You'll just, you know, keep amplifying that effect. If you do it early on and are able to save it, it's just going to get worse as you go. So. We'll take the free spots while I can get them.
Well, I mean, before that, there was like 4 or 5 other cars that were getting moved off.
No idea how fast the 4 is going to be. I'm assuming it'll be quite a bit quicker. Honestly, do not remember where he qualified. I got some other people around. Could or could not be fast, so just gonna watch out. I'm not just gonna move over for every single person, give up all the spots. But if somebody seems a lot faster and they're gonna try to challenge me, then early on in the race, it might be worth it for me to let it go, just to protect myself from, you know, getting turned or something. Don't want to repeat of somebody diving in hard. I've had 1 or 2 drivers doing that in the truck race, and it's not the most fun thing to deal with.
I think that was a nice car.
Going in 2 more laps.
Pace car is out.
Some people
Pits
still
are
on for
closed.
repairs. Others are trying to jump out and stay on the lead lap still. I guess if we can get this far up, I would be okay with the rest of the race being under caution. Wouldn't be exciting, but it'd be a decent finish without me having to really sweat too many people being faster than me.
The Ford car, you got them on? Yeah, what's up? Hey, Josh, sorry about you. How bad I'm running right here?
All that was just seeing those spins happening off the corners and just trying to position myself the best. The first one on lap 1 was not very hard to avoid. The second one, I was just trying to guess where they were, and thankfully inside car went down quite a bit. Gave me a room right through the middle of the backstretch to go around.
Okay, Jake, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
This will probably be the last time that I see the top 5. But hey, thinking positive, trying to drive clean. Hopefully good things will come from it if I can do that. These cars going to be pulling off momentarily. Let's see where the leader's going to go.
Green flag.
It's a little bit more of a jump than what I expected, so
P5.
there's the 19
Coming up on
the
your
whole way.
outside line's
We got
clear.
the 4-door outside.
Right side.
Watch for him, especially
He's
coming
still
off
there.
the corner. He'll get the run out of 2.
He's still there. Still there.
Clear me, I may just drop back,
Still
let
there.
him go,
Clear high.
give up 5th. Because I got the 13 and the 24 behind, so I think it's worth more to stay in front of them than it is to try to battle the 4. 4 definitely seems to be a lot faster. Rather give up 1 spot than potentially give up 3 or 4.
P6.
Just trying to do the best to let the car roll through the center of the corner, not wear out the right front too early. Be smooth on the throttle out. One was working off the apron on 2, doing the same thing on 3 and 4. Trying to just get the straightest run possible, get as much power down on the straightaway.
The guy in front
Just
has
don't know
just
if I'm
done
good
a
enough to be able to do that.
31.51. The guy behind has just done a 31.52. Got a full course
And we get
caution.
another
Watch out.
caution. Still think it's too early to come in for tires. Guess this is
His car is
keeping me
out.
up towards
Line
the
up
front.
single file behind Adams.
Felt like we were
Caution.
definitely faster than the
Closed.
13. 13 was trying to break away a little bit from the 24, but felt like I was faster than 13, 24, and 16, so hopefully being on the outside won't hurt us too bad off the restart. Yeah, it's assuming that we don't pit. So the hope is that if we all stay like this, I can get a decent enough restart, get the 4 ahead of me, but still be able to stay ahead of the 13 and
It's
the
open.
24. And then, you know, I'll just try to get a run off of 2 to get clear of the 13, fall in line behind the 4, and then just keep running 6th. Alright, the 1's just so quick. Like, he was already pulling away from the 2. I had nothing to handle, or the 9, excuse me. Nothing for the 1 at all. I don't even know how he's turning down like that. That's not something I think I want to attempt. I guess the bright side is the longer we do this, at least it potentially keeps me closer to a 0x race. Or at least we keep grinding laps out that are clean. 14's going to be getting the lucky dog. Plan is to run the last time slot for the NIS Open here as well. I'll finish off my New Hampshire week. Both cars, you know, both series of the trucks and these have been pretty different, but in some ways, you know, it's still
Full course yellow.
similar
It's all
philosophy. So, I'm hoping maybe I can take both of these races, driving style, and kind of translate it to the NIS and have, you know, the best performance of the week in that. But just have to see how it goes. It'll be a long 151 laps, I think. So, I'm talking almost 4 times what this in the truck
We're
race
under
is.
caution. It's closed.
Granted, I mean, these are, you know, the fixed sides, so they're always half of what the Open is, so reasonably, you know, the Open's like 80 laps, I think. Get the one to go next time by. So I'm going to try to do the best I can to pull away from 13, 24. It's definitely going to be 24. I'm not quite as worried about 13, and 16 will be a little bit tougher. And I am not seeing 19 wasn't terrible on that last restart, but the outside could be a different story. Mine seems decently fast.
next time by.
I'd be thrilled to death with the 6th place finish. I mean, like, it'd be frustrating to be so close to the top 5. It's top 5 counts for the stats in your profile, but 6th place would be so good for me. Realistically, you know, I'm not trying to set any kind of positions, but just anything halfway towards the top half of the field, I'll be thrilled with. Like I said, these flat miles type tracks, this blocky mile, to extent somewhat Martinsville as well. I just am so bad at these tracks. I feel like if I do more on the short track side, it might teach me something. Even some of that's a little bit different, just because you're on and off the throttle so much quicker. So we can do one's gonna go, one's off.
Green flag, we're racing.
Slightly missed a shift. Got a good jump on the 13 and the 24, so what I'm going to do is just get on the brakes, try to get the 4x, get down behind him, stay in front of the 13. It's about the best restart that I can hope for. Alright, settle in now. Just going to drive into 3 a little bit deeper. I got a little too much wheel into it. Start pulling away. I feel like I've been getting on the throttle a little bit better out of the corners compared to the 13. That's where I pull away from them a little bit. I feel like this driving in it a little bit deeper, he kind of closes up a little bit in the center, and then I'm just able to get off the corner. Better than him. Around low gap, 310 something going forward, and about 310s back to him. Kind of overshoot turn 1 there a little bit. Thankfully, 13 does the same thing. A little bit sideways. That's a bad exit. Gears continuing to pull away. Everybody else, for the most part, is pretty close to each other. Sideways there out of 4, gotta minimize that. Do the same thing again, overshooting 1 a little bit. Using way too much wheel, it's not gonna be kind to the right front. Probably underdrove turn 3 that time. Released the brakes in a weird way, so it kind of shot me up the track. I feel like I get out of 2 a little bit better than the 13 and then lose it in 3 and 4 compared to them. But even the 19 and the 4 are starting to pull away, so looks like we're probably a 6th place car. Just okay with me, just gotta manage the race. Manage the tires, manage the pace, definitely manage the mistakes. Starting to get a little separated from each other.
51.81.
He does a good job hanging with me that time out of 2. Coming to lap 20 this time. Too much throttle too early there in the center of 3 and 4. Definitely got to enter a little bit lower. Work it out a little bit better.
Alright, Jake, the next car is Adams.
Be tough to pass. Track position is definitely important. The brake bias back a little bit as we hit the halfway mark.
Distance, the fuel's okay.
Try to help the car rotate in a little bit better. Definitely felt like that made quite a bit of a difference that time. longer off the throttle on it to go through the center of the corner. Consistent laps is all I'm looking for. Consistent laps and smooth exits. I mean, the key to making this car last through the last 18 laps or so. Not quite like that. He's really pulled away from the 18. He was kind of pulled away from the 2. Loose there off of turn 4. On the throttle a little too early. Second through fifth's kind of lined up together. One's just absolutely gone. I get way too loose out of turn 4 or turn 2. Definitely hurting the right front, or it's just pushing real bad through the center of the corner. Our team may have been saving a little bit better than me.
That lap time was 32.27.
Just trying to be as careful on the throttle as I can. Wait just a little bit longer. Use a little bit less throttle coming out of 2. He's almost got into the wall. Of course, got a little more grip to it than turn 2 does. A little bit of a better exit that time. You can see the 13 fell back quite a bit. 18 and the 2 are both there. 2 dives way to the inside. He's on the apron. I know he's pretty aggressive, so we'll have to watch out for him. He's hunting 13 down. Got 15 laps to go. Don't think it's a matter of if the 2's going to get to me. It's just a matter of when. Kind of hoping the 13 will stall long enough.
Increase to 0.88.
Make another brake bias adjustment. We're just going around the 19. 2's continuing to work the apron. 3 and 4. Go clear the 13 this time. 1 second back of the 19. See if we can start closing up on the 19 and all.
Lap time was at 32.54.
Team was able to get back by the 2. The longer they're able to battle, the better it is for me. They're both slowly catching me. Kind of overdrove turn 3 a little bit. It's by the 13 this time. Kind of pushes wide. He's using a little more of a diamond than I am. A little bit too much of a slide there out of turn 2. So he's going to drive it in deep. We're just going to watch for him on the inside. We know that's been his MO in 3 and 4 the whole time. Gains him a lot of time. That is for sure.
That lap was at 32.51.
I think there's quite a bit more grip down low in 3 and 4 than there is in 1 and 2. Team's pulling back away from us.
Stay high. You got one inside. Keep it together. Hold your line.
He's going to continue to run my line. Just got to watch out for him coming out of the corner.
Keep it steady. Still there.
18 was able to get by the 13.
Your last lap time was at 32.56.
Car inside. Keep high. Clear inside.
Trying to battle as best as I can. We're going to have 10 to go next time by. Don't think I'll be able to hold him off, but I'm certainly going to try my best. See him trying to cut underneath, get a little better run off of 4.
Coming up low side.
Try to lengthen the straightaway out.
Still there.
So he's driving inside now, so
He's still there.
he'll have the advantage going into turn 1.
5.8. Okay, Jake. Lap times are pretty
Just
consistent.
pushes up.
Hold your line. Clear low.
Not sure if that was an apology. I'll have to listen. I have the chat kind of turned down, so I'll go back and listen to it afterwards. I think he likely pushed up, but I guess we'll take a look at that afterwards. Got a second back to the 18. 8 and 13 are running side by side now.
That lap time was 32.87.
And are a little too shallow into 1. Try to work it the best I can, see if I can stay in front of the 18 for these last 8 laps.
The gap to Kosher ahead is increasing. It's now 0.83.
Might be closing up slightly, but if we keep it at that rate, should be in a fairly decent spot. You can see the 2 still continuing to drive it deep. He's just got a lot more tire life left, and he's a lot better at it than I am. That is for sure. I don't think that's something I want to attempt here in the race. I don't think I could learn that in a racing environment. That would take a lot of practice and a lot of attempts before I can get it down. I'm making this work pretty well, so stay with it. He's chasing the 18 down. Side-by-side battle between those two. If it could last a while, it would help me pull away a little bit. Whether or not that's going to happen, we'll see. They are side-by-side right now going down the backstretch. The longer they can do that, the better. And definitely don't want to caution at this point. 8 gets by the 18. 6 to go. I haven't really gotten to close up to anybody up front. They've all just been pulling away slowly. I think I've got a good, big enough gap though that if I don't make too many mistakes, unless the 8's a rocket, I should be able to hang on to 7th. Got 5 laps to hang on to it. 0.3 back.
That was 32.69.
Definitely not an easy track for me by any means. I feel like I need to diamond a little more, get a little more of a cut down. 8 gained 2/10 that time.
7th position. You've just done a 32.64.
It's pulling away from
Good
the 18.
consistency. Keep them coming.
Ah, really bad exit out of 2. She's trying to get back to the 18.
The gap behind is now 1.09.
She's trying to work to the inside of the 19. We'll have to watch to see if I'm having any contact. Other 2/10 for the 8. I just drove a really bad lap that time. Just gonna the brake bias back the rest of the way. Try to salvage something these last 2.5 laps. He's definitely done a good job coming up through the field. Only 1/10 that time for the 8.
2 laps remaining.
2 to go.
Okay, Jake. Push now. We can catch up here.
So, not really too many spots based on speed. Most of them were the free spots off the first 2 laps. But a couple decent restarts. Got us some stuff. Got us to stay ahead. White flag's out. Gap stays the same to the 8. So
White
just
flag.
gotta
One more to
execute
go.
clean and consistent. too much throttle too early.
The gap behind is now
19 going side by side
0.82.
through 3. Doesn't look like any contact's going to happen, so no more free spots. That's the 7th place finish, which is not bad by any means. It's 5 spots ahead where I was supposed to finish, and that's 4 spots ahead of where we qualified,
Okay, that's
so
the finish. Well done, mate.
Andrew, I had nothing to do
I will
there.
take that without a doubt. That was definitely, once we got into a rhythm, certainly by no means, you know, the fastest on the track, but at least able to get a 0x out of it. Take a look at tires. 83.91, yeah, pretty bad. I beat up that right front pretty bad. Just really got to learn the entries better. I think if I can get the entries down, that'll help the middle of the corner off, and it'll get me off a little better. That diamond, you know, is probably the way to go. I just could not learn that. Could not learn that very well. So let's take a look at the deal with the
I think I might have
3
pitted
or the 4, excuse me.
after the first 3 laps.
Alright, so yeah, we'll rewind this. It was this lap coming in. I think he just ends up pushing up. Let's see. Oh yeah, he just pushed up, just drove right up into us. So
Yeah.
we'll see if I'll go back and listen and see if he apologized. But you can see he's.
I just wasn't sure.
I know they're doing the diamond, and I'm supposed to expect that a little bit, but like he's got to respect that I'm on the outside as well. So you can see he's driving almost to the bottom seam, which I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm a seam up. I've given him, you know, almost a 4 full car width, and then he just pushes all the way up, and then just gets right into the left side door. And I was kind of holding right around the same thing. I mean, I know I didn't drift as much as he probably thought, but that was kind of a use the right side of me, and 8 tires are better than 4 tires in a sense. So not much I could really do there. Take a look at the beginning. Some of those were pretty interesting off the start. So I think the 19 did not go around. Let's see, the 7 I want to say had a bit of an issue. Let's see.
If there ever was a time.
So we got going. Let's see. I thought the 17 was one of them that had a problem. It's on the outside. Okay, so 3 pushes up into him, and the 3 went around. So let's watch this back. The 3 was using the apron. As you can see, he's gonna do the turn down, turns all the way to the apron, helps the car rotate, and just gets on the gas. Kind of gets a little loose, just gets right into the 7. That spins him. So that was one of the free spots that we got. Whew, got stuck to the wall too. That was pretty unfortunate. 17 went around. Let's see what happened to the 17 there.
You're much better at that than I am, clearly. I mean,
So he was running behind him. I think this was the other car that I saw. Allowed me to split through. He just got loose off, yeah, so he just followed him down. You can see I went through that one, no problem. Watch. I want to see what happens up front. I think it was the 17. 14, excuse me. 25 is who. Okay, so let's go watch the 25 and see what happened.
And then try to match it or do it better, you know. But I was watching this video the other day.
So he's running side by side with the 9. 9 kind of drifts up. He moves up. Goes to cut back down. He's well clear. He just got on the throttle too hard. Started losing it. Tried to save it. Kicked back. Got into the 14. And I was able to split through that one. And that brought out the caution. So it was pretty much everything we saw off the opening. For the most part, relatively clean. A few people had some stuff, but not too much that we were involved in. So go take a look at the results. Hopefully you should see some positive gains out of both of those. Single split race, wow. Thought there was more people entered than the 25 that we had. 28, 64 strength of field, so not a bad one for a single split race, I would say. Unless,
With that,
no, there's got to be more splits than that because we have more people. They just might not be done, which is really bad. They had a lot of cautions then. 0.17 on the safety rating, so first 0x in a while, so it's going to take a little bit to grind that back up. Decent iRating gain, 52. So it puts us just under 28.75. Slowly clawing it back. Was almost 3/10 off the leader. He was, again, just in a class of his own. You can see almost 5.5 seconds ahead of second. And let's see. The 9 was decently quick. The 2 was a little bit slower, but working his way up. I was right around the 4's pace, kind of similar to the 18 and the 13. So middle of the pack. Based on just best lap time, was probably more like a 9th or a 10th place car, which that's roughly where I was supposed to be in this, so not terribly far off from that. And I think I just got the benefit of being able to avoid some stuff, kind of manage tires a little bit better, a little bit cleaner off the restarts, and then you just had the track position to hang in front. It is pretty tough to pass here for sure, especially in the fixed setup side. So definitely, if you can master qualifying and qualify towards the front, as long as you're halfway decent in the race trim, it'll serve you well. Starting towards the front is definitely a big deal, and then just being able to fade anything that happens. So that's pretty standard for these tracks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I'm gonna keep trying to keep out, trying to get some more stuff out. NIS is gonna be one, and then I'm not sure what my other one will be. Whether I'm gonna do a super late model or if I'm gonna do dirt something. I'll get in. So hopefully you guys enjoy that one. Feel free to leave any feedback driving line if you think the 2 just drove straight up into us, or what you think happened. And love to hear from you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.